Welcome to the Explainer. So, today, we're going to break down a T20 World Cup match that, on the surface looks like a simple, straightforward win for India. But when you start to peel back the layers, it tells a much more complicated story.
Right, so the final number is 72. India beat Zimbabwe by a massive 72 runs. I mean, that is a dominant margin, no question about it. But believe me, the real story here isn't just about how big that win was.
Because even with that huge victory, there are some pretty serious questions being asked. Like, does this performance really mean India's back in top form? Are they ready for what's next? Okay, let's get into it.
All right, so first up, a win, but doubts remain. We're going to deconstruct this scorecard because, honestly, it's a little deceptive. We need to look past that final score and figure out why this victory might not be as clear-cut as it seems.
So you got to ask yourself, right? Am I fully impressed? I mean, let's be real. Considering the opposition, a win for India was pretty much a given. The real question, the one that actually matters, is what did this performance prove about their readiness for the knockout games? The challenges that are coming up are a whole different level.
Okay, next section. Let's talk about India's all-out attack strategy. And this is where we get into some high-risk choices and a pretty controversial selection. The game plan itself was simple, go hard from ball one. But the way they picked the team to do it, that was anything but simple, and it got a lot of people talking.
And here is where it gets super interesting. You've got this Rinku Singh dilemma. Here's a guy who did absolutely nothing wrong, playing his role perfectly, and he gets dropped. And who stays in the team? Tilak, who's been one of the slowest batters in the whole tournament. But then, and this is the twist, Tilak goes out and plays the fastest innings of the entire match. So what on earth was the thinking here? Well, the logic was all about having a safety net. The team saw Tilak as an insurance anchor, basically a guy who could steady the ship if they lost a couple of early wickets, which, has been a bit of an issue for India. It's kind of a conservative move, especially for a team that says it's going all-out attack, but they clearly decided that safety was more important than Rinku's explosive finishing in this particular game.
But hang on, the story of this match is not just about India and their strategic headaches. Actually, for me, one of the most compelling parts of this whole game came from the losing side, Zimbabwe.
Look, when you're staring down a target of 256, you know a win is basically impossible. It's just off the table. So what do? Well, you shift your goals. For Zimbabwe, this game became about something else. It was about finding smaller, meaningful victories that could build belief for the future.
And this just spells it out perfectly. I mean, look at what they accomplished. First, they survived Jasprit Bumrah. They lost 0 wickets to the best bowler on the planet. Then they identified India's weak link and went after it, smashing 46 runs off just 3 overs. They showed incredible fight by not getting bowled out. And maybe most importantly, they gave a platform to a future star.
And let's just focus on that young player, Bennett, for a second. For him to not just survive, but to actually hit a 6 off Jasprit Bumrah, and then to see out the entire innings and remain not out? Wow. That is so much more than just runs on a scoreboard. It's a huge statement about his potential, his belief, and his courage under fire.
So, after all that, India's complicated win, Zimbabwe's moral victory, the stage is now set for an absolutely massive showdown to end the group stage. And thanks to South Africa beating the West Indies, things have become crystal clear for India. Their fate is entirely in their own hands now. All the complicated net run rate scenarios, they're gone. It is all boiled down to one single high-stakes game.
And here it is, India versus the West Indies, Sunday, at the legendary Eden Gardens. The equation could not be any simpler. You win, you're in the semifinals. You lose, your World Cup is over. That's it.
Which really just leaves us with this final thought, doesn't it? Was that big win against Zimbabwe just a case of beating up on a weaker team, or was it enough to build real, genuine momentum heading into this do-or-die clash? Because in these tournaments, momentum can shift in the blink of an eye. The big question is, which way is it going to swing on Sunday?